CALP is dedicated to providing professional development to those most likely to have an impact on the future of the agricultural industry.
CALP started back in the early 80s, and then through a couple of changes, actually went through CSU, and then now is the program it is. So we've seen it change immensely, but we've seen the industry change even more. And we see CALP changing with the industry to meet those future needs.
I was part of class 11, and I was the first class after the resurrection. Went through the program and absolutely saw how valuable it was. The state of Colorado has to have this.
All along, the goal of the CALP program has remained true, developing the leadership capabilities of diverse men and women committed to the future of Colorado's agricultural and rural communities.
You know, it used to be almost everybody had a connection to the farm. You know, grandma, grandpa, aunt and uncle.
We're at 1.5% of the population, and yet we provide one of those three ingredients that's the most important. You need oxygen first, water second, and food third. You don't have to have a cell phone.
It's vitally important that you develop leaders. And that's why we have CALP, is to develop those leaders. They may not actually be in agriculture themselves, but they may have some sort of tie to agriculture or ag industry. Or quite frankly, they may be just somebody that appreciates ag, and we need those spokespeople. We need those leaders.
CALP stewards a hands-on, interactive program dedicated to producing graduates with the vision and commitment to lead change and ensure sustainability.
The rural parts of our state really are the backbone. That's where the energy comes from. That's where cattle come from. That's where our commodity crops come from. And that's where tourism largely takes place.
CALP's a program that develops young people who are ready for those roles when they arrive. We don't know when they'll be here, but we know they will be here. And we know that the necessity of it is essential. And without the proper tools, which CALP provides that, the speaking, the parliamentary procedure, the having observed other things in the world and knowing other people, trying to observe how they think, how to present that message when the time comes, they will and are ready. That's why CALP is essential.
The CALP curriculum is similar to graduate school, creating unique lifetime experiences.
You know, Jerry Sonnenberg, who's a senator from the Eastern Slope, was in my class, and he's been a big advocate for agriculture in the state government. And there's numerous other people that I've worked with. Callie Hendrickson, she was the head of the conservation districts over here in western Colorado for quite a few years.
Hickenlooper got elected as governor and asked if I was interested in helping to refund and reform the office. And then he asked me to stay on and become his legislative director and senior advisor on ag and energy.
CALP is to create those leaders for the future. And whether it's directly associated with agriculture or otherwise, that is the main goal.
To date, over 300 leaders have completed the CALP program. 82% of graduates hold leadership roles in nonprofit work, public-private education, advocacy groups, political organizations, and in government. 70% have been interviewed by the news media as spokespersons on behalf of agriculture. 66% have served in local, state, and national leadership posts in agricultural organizations.
Congressman John Salazar was one of students in class 3, I believe, back in the late 80s. Later goes on to serve as Commissioner of Agriculture, Congressman from the 3rd Congressional District here in Colorado. That's a success.
And I think what the program does, it certainly did for me, and I think what you will hear so many other people have come out of CALP is say, they learned more than they ever dreamt that they would have learned about their own state and about their own, rural economy.
Program participants commit to 9 travel study seminars over a 2-year period. They travel throughout the state of Colorado, visit Washington, D.C., and embark on an international ag study trip, which has included destinations like Colombia, India, Russia, and China.
Leaders are hard to define because sometimes leadership is standing in front of the room giving a speech to 1,000 people, and sometimes it's knowing when to stand in the back and be quiet and do it in a quiet fashion.
You know, we went on a trip down to the New Orleans, Mississippi area, and went to a paper mill down there, a chicken packing plant, and learned about agriculture down there because it's very different than up here in Colorado.
On a personal level, program participants report broader cultural perspectives and openness to the viewpoints of others and increased confidence.
A lot of what I learned when I went through CALP helped propel me to be the leader in the Senate, because there's a difference between a senator or an elected representative and a leader in those chambers. And when you're prepared with the tools that you need to be a leader, you can work on both sides of the aisle and still get things accomplished. And people respect you and look to you for advice when it comes to those ag and rural issues.
It opens minds and eyes to what's really going on in Colorado and how it all really needs to sync up. We can't live in sections of our state and not talk to each other, not understand what's going on, because it's really an ecosystem.
Through CALP, program alumni establish a strong network of resources. They're informed about policy, are motivated to act, and become involved.
You may not be a direct producer. You may simply be interested in agriculture, involved in agriculture in another fashion. I know these classes are multi-mixed. They come from all walks of life because that too trains each one of them to handle somebody or to be involved with somebody who's not in your walk of life. So I would say if you're interested, do this thing. If you eat, you're part of agriculture. We need you to be a leader for us.
Of vital importance, CALP leaders are tasked to create financial stability in the program to ensure the learning opportunity continues. During their 2 years, participants create and complete a personal project impacting their home community or organization. Quite often, these projects produce astonishing results.
My CALP project was eradicating the Japanese beetle in Palisades. And had I not been able to be successful with that project and the Japanese beetle became established in this area, it would have required a lot more chemical applications just to be able to bring the crop to fruition.
The class also hosts and produces the annual Governor's Forum on Colorado Agriculture. The forum showcases farmers and ranchers, ag businesses and policymakers. Guest speakers cover topics such as soil health, legacy planning, hemp, and ranching on federal lands.
You know, the classes tend to focus on certain things that are relevant for agriculture at the time, and water is almost always on the docket. And that particular year we were in a drought, so I had quite a bit of experience in getting trained about water, among a lot of other things. So,
And the truth is, that's what CALP's about. Giving you the tools to be able to lead and solve problems that affect agriculture in rural areas.
CALP needs more people understanding the value of it to make those contributions financially. But this is a tough business. I mean, these young people don't have that type of money, so we rely on others and their contributions to make this happen. That's how CALP grows.
When we go to our donors, we try to share with them that these people will actually help you. You may not see the bang for the buck immediately, but many of these people may come back and work for you, or they may defend you somewhere in some hearing or at some avenue speak on your behalf.
I just recently had a chance to interact with one of those donors, and you know, this was 15 years ago, and they didn't remember giving me the money at the time, but I reminded them of that and told them of some of the benefits that I'm sure directly affected their economic livelihood.
When you have someone donate to the program, there will be a return. They may not see it, but people will be educated about what they do in business, and it helps all of our donors.
As CALP continues to thrive and grow, second-generation daughters and sons of alumni are enrolling and continuing the legacy. The Colorado Agricultural Leadership Program is playing a vital role in developing new leaders who will impact the industry for years to come. To learn more, visit our website,